there, Akuma fans. Charlie with the Gossamer Applications staff. We're back for another video, and this one I think everybody can use. It doesn't matter whether you've got a mill or a lathe or a multis, whatever you got. This is going to help you out some. We are assuming that you've got a P300 or P500 machine with OSP Suite. So we're going to configure a maintenance monitor. Now, some of you out there may just not be aware that there's already a factory maintenance monitor running on your machine right now. Upper right-hand corner of your main operating screen, right there where my cursor is. If you see an exclamation point on that house icon, that means you already have a maintenance alarm that has gone unnoticed. So let's go ahead and touch that house icon, and it'll take you back to this screen that may or may not show up when you first power up the machine. There's a parameter we can switch to make this thing not come up by default. But there's our maintenance monitor guy right there. And if you have a maintenance item that's due, we'll see a little exclamation point on that button. And by touching it, it'll take us to 2 pages worth of maintenance monitors. The periodic inspection, periodical, I'm not sure I like that word, but the periodic maintenance screen and a daily inspection screen. Now the daily inspection does not show up with the exclamation point. That's just, yeah, little stuff that you're supposed to check. But we're going to focus on this periodic maintenance chart. Now, in the hypothetical I just gave you a second ago, we had the exclamation point on something. And so by scrolling down, you're going to see one of these progress bars is not going to be blue anymore. It'll either be yellow or red, depending on whether or not the maintenance item is way overdue or just sort of overdue. Now, hopefully you guys have a little exclamation point on the info button. I don't, because I haven't loaded them in, but the factory does that pretty well on other people's machines. And if you touch the maintenance, the info button next to the maintenance item, it'll open up the maintenance manual and not only show you what system this is talking about, but it'll also give you details on what they're expecting you to do, and it's totally helpful. Once you're done with that, we just touch the execute button, and it's going to tell us, hey, do you want to execute the maintenance item? Confirm it, and it will reset the clock, and you'll start over again. Now, some of these may or may not apply to your machine, but hey, they're generic. What I want to explore today is how I can put my own maintenance items on one of these on the list. So I had one of my favorite service guys call me from the field and said, hey, a customer wants to look at his MP Systems oil every 2,000 hours. So I talked him through how to add it to this list, and now we're going to do it for you. So we're going to put this on the periodical maintenance chart. Make sure that that tab is highlighted. Now I'm going to reach up and touch the change mode button, that guy right there. It's going to ask me for confirmation. I'm going to say okay. Now the little button's going to change, and we can now edit this page. Now, one thing we cannot do is change these factory items. Those are all on their own, so we're going to leave those alone. But we have the ability to add our own items to this list. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is touch right underneath the number column. Now, this is just an identifier for this particular maintenance item. And the user maintenance items, I know this from experience, start with the number 1001, and I believe they go to 1999. If you put in a number that's outside of that range, let's just say number 1, and I touch the enter button, it's going to tell me, nope, this is the user information range, 1001 to 1999. So I'm going to start with 1001. Awesome. As soon as I hit the enter button, it automatically sticks the little U in front. That's just to let me know that this is a user item. Doesn't really mean anything. It's just an identifier for the history list that we have here. So next thing I'm going to do is touch the field underneath item, and I can add a word description that describes what the system is I want to have inspected. So in this case, this was an MP Systems high pressure pump. So let's just put in MP Systems, and we'll just say oil check. When I hit enter, it has now registered that into my stack. The work column is a brief description of what I'm expecting the person responding to this message to do. So let's just say we're going to check oil level. Poil? Boy, he was sharp the day he wrote this, huh? Okay, so enter, and now we have the MP Systems oil check, a description, check oil level. There's a progress bar. We haven't finished putting in our information, so there's nothing going on here yet. It's also telling me that this is due now because my current interval is set to 0 hours. We'll deal with that in a second. I also have an info button here. So if I've prepared a PDF of what I'm expecting to do, touching this info button will open up a file here and allow me to see any PDF that may or may not exist for a description of this. Now this PDF is not required, but it's pretty cool if the person who is doing this maintenance item may or may not know what I'm expecting. So once I am done with this, touching that info button will call up the PDF that they've got described, the pathway that's here. It'll pop it up in front of the screen. But I don't have one, so I'm going to ignore that. Now here's where I lose most people because they think, okay, well, there's no more information on this. How do I set the hours? How do I set all this other stuff? Oh, look at this. There's a slider across the bottom. There's more information to the right of this info button. So I could swipe, I could drag and drop, but I'm going to use the arrow over button because the second biggest mistake when creating this maintenance item is that people give it a big swipe and they wind up losing a couple of items. When I touch this little arrow to the right button, I want you to notice that item and work are going to stay the same, but progress, remain, and info, bonk, they're going to change. Okay, so if I swiped, I may miss the fact that, okay, remain, all right. And let's go over, there's my date. I'm going to leave the date alone. That's today, that's good. Now here is my interval. By touching that interval box, it allows me to specify how often I want this message to come up. So let's get rid of the 0, and I'm going to put 2,000 hours in there and hit enter. Boom, now we've got that. I'm going to click over a couple of times. Here is the type of counting I want. All time means that if the machine is off for a period of time, the timer is still going to be active. So if this were a battery or something that's not contingent on the machine being running, then I'll select all time. But in our case, hey, if the machine's not on, that means the MP Systems machine is not on, so therefore we don't want it to count. So I'm just going to say this is power on. And do I want to change the count type? Yes, I do. So now we're on power on. My default interval is, of course, 2,000, and my default is power on. Scroll over. Now here is a cool little feature on this. Notice that everybody above me is set to notice. Now the notice category will create the little exclamation point on the icon in the beginning of the video, that little exclamation point on that home icon. Super easy to miss. And as some of you may have noticed from checking your machine, hey, that thing has been on for years and I haven't even paid attention to it because I'm not doing the routine maintenance that they suggest. I'm doing it as needed. So let's pull down this menu here. On user alarms, I have the opportunity to have the maintenance monitor interact with the machine itself. Notice is, hey, what do I want the interaction to be? A D level alarm or a C level alarm? And now, as you guys have probably experienced, a D level alarm will turn on the red light, give you a red bar across the top of the screen, but it doesn't inhibit the machine's functionality. Alarm C, on the other hand, will do the same thing. However, it'll require you to clear the alarm before you can start the next run. So your choice. I'm going to go for alarm D for the notice and also for the warning on this. And do I want it displayed? Yes, I do. I now have this maintenance item. So if I click back on change mode, am I finished change mode? Yes, I am. Now down at the bottom of my list, there is the MP Systems oil check oil level. Remaining is 2,000 hours. I'm going to tell it, you go right ahead and warn me in 2,000 hours, and it's going to give me the alarm D. What'd you do, Charlie? When that alarm comes up, I can then come over here to my info, see my PDF if I've registered one, and once I'm done, I'll just touch the execute button. It'll say, do you want to execute it? Yes, I do. Okay, there you go. Once I've finished with this, I can close out of this and go back to my main operating screen and run to my heart's content, knowing that in 2,000 hours, I'm going to get a D-level alarm across the top of the screen, and it's going to tell me, hey, maintenance item, maintenance due. And if I scroll over to the maintenance screen, there's my user alarm, tells me what to do, and I'll do the maintenance required and continue on making money. So I hope this helps you out. Feel free to comment down below if you'd like to see anything regarding this, or for that matter, regarding the OSP control in general. I'm here for you. Hope to see you out in the field. Have a great day.